Dr. Deborah Burke's admission that she knew all the time that the vaccine would not be effective is a bombshell. And it's counter to what we were being told back in March, April, May of 2020. One of the critics who has been on this from the very beginning is our very own Congressman Andy Biggs, and he is in the center ring. And Congressman, you've been I can't even think of maybe a handful of critics who have been as vocal as you have been on Dr. Fauci's and Dr. Burke. And now we've learned that the pandemic was, in a sense, jimmied, was planned by them. Burks even admitted that she lied. Are there going to be any consequences for these people?
Oh, there should be, and I hope there are. I've talked to the individuals who should be leading the investigative committees in Congress. They tell me that we're going to be bringing Fauci in, and now it's obvious we should bring Birx in. I always thought we should bring Birx in, and then I believe Kevin McCarthy, who has indicated to many of us that he wants to do the same. I hope so, James. I really do.
I mean, these guys are out there right now, and some folks are scratching their heads as to why they're being dishonest. Maybe it's because they're just arrogant and they're part of this bubble, and they think that they can just snow over the American people. Some of us believe that they're afraid of Congress changing hands from Democrats to Republicans, but they're out basically admitting that they were wrong. But the real arrogance comes in saying that, when they have a chance to do it again, it'll be much worse. It'll be Chinese-style lockdowns this time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely right. And I think about this. You got Fauci, who refuses to disclose whether and how much money he and others made through pharmaceutical companies and distribution of these vaccines. That's a problem, is it not? And then you got Dr. Birx basically saying, we knew it wasn't going to work, but we wanted control. We wanted this kind of authoritarian tyranny over the American people, and now they're promising even more. You're already seeing it in California again with Governor Gavin Newsom, who's really he's that leftist authoritarian dude that you should be worried about. So a lot of this going on, a lot of control, a lot of money being made by these people.
I think a lot of people are voting with their feet and leaving these kind of states, but there's going to come to a point where there's going to have to be some kind of pushback, and that's what I'm afraid of, Congressman Biggs, that these authoritarians are going to push the American people so far, then things get out of control.
Yeah, I mean, this is why through the institution of Congress, we've got to take steps to hold people accountable, because if we don't, then what's going to happen is people, you might light a fuse that you don't want to see lit, and that's not really good for anybody necessarily. But what we got to do is we have got to make sure that Congress does its job, and I'm hopeful right now. I'm hopeful, but sometimes these guys get a little bit weak-kneed when they get power. They get in, and we could do it. They better not do it this time.
We can't afford it. We can't afford it. We have Congressman Andy Biggs in the center ring. Congressman, we can't afford weakness. We learned this week that there have been over 500,000 known gotaways at the border since the fiscal year began. I mean, if that's not an invasion, how do you define invasion?
Well, it is an invasion. I mean, the raw numbers alone are an invasion, but there are other things about it. Is it dangerous? Yeah, it's dangerous. We don't know who these people are. We know we got more people on the terror watch list than ever before. You got more fentanyl coming in that's killing Americans. You got violent criminals that are coming in, and we don't know where they're going, and we don't know where all of them have been. And just think, I've been told that it's at least 1-to-1 on unknown gotaways. So if you know that there's 525,000 known gotaways, you got that many more who are unknown, which is even more frightening. So this is an invasion, and it's an Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution invasion. Article 1, Section 10 allows states to act, and quite frankly, states need to stand up, because the Biden administration will not stand up and protect our border.
I had to add that one to my list, Congressman. Words that the Biden administration has redefined since they've been in office: science, vaccine, woman, invasion, insurrection,
Exactly.
and now we got them trying to redefine recession. The Biden administration is so what? So what's the what are they afraid of the American people's response that they have to redefine recession? How do you define recession?
Well, if we just take the technical terms, you got 2 quarters of a shrinking economy. We already have that, but you're going to exacerbate the inflationary pressure that you have. We're in a recession. Many economists will tell you that already, but the Biden administration will never tell you that. And I don't think it's James. I don't think it's because they're afraid of us. I think it's because they want to control us, and that's really where we stand here. And quite frankly, there are probably 10% of the country that will believe whatever the Biden administration tells them.
Yeah, what you just said there is frightening. They want to control us. That is the common theme with everything that they're doing. It's about control. The way that we break through, I guess the first step of breaking through that control is putting Republicans back in Congress this November, correct?
Yes, top to bottom, state, local elections, Republicans need to get